She swears like a sailor, dresses like she doesn't care, and lives like she doesn't need anyone. For decades, she's been everywhere. She's the cool girl. For years, I've noticed a certain cult. It shows up in Hollywood, in the movie industry, and even occasionally in my own friend group. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's the cult of the cool girl. She's the 90s and early 2000s version of womanhood. But that doesn't mean there aren't a lot of people today still pushing her on us. Hi, I'm Tracy, and welcome back. Every generation has its cool girl. You know the one. She plays by nobody's rules and she makes life look effortless. But behind the undone hair and the oversized hoodie, is that life really worth chasing? So here's my definition of the cool girl. She talks like one of the guys, heavy on sarcasm, swearing, and oversharing, especially about her sex life. Her style, thrown together on the surface, trying to look effortless and like she doesn't care. But if you look closely, you can tell it's built on hours of effort and lots of money. Intimacy for her becomes more of a bragging right and a performance than connection. And there's one thing she'll never admit, that she needs anyone. She's determined to be completely, or at least to seem completely independent. For Gen X, I think it was Jennifer Lopez was our classic cool girl. You know, she was sexy, bold, untouchable. For millennials, I think Chrissy Teigen, crass, sarcastic, and famous for, among other things, a lot of questionable ex posts. And of course, for Gen Z, there's Alex Cooper of the Call Her Daddy podcast. She's like some modern day shock jock and self-professed sex and relationship advice guru person with absolutely no filter. And of course, Hollywood gave us cool girl Rachel in Friends. And then there's Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City. Now I think about all the TikTok influencers who are sipping iced lattes and claiming they just woke up like this. But here's the truth. What culture sells as freedom often has a hidden cost. But I think the culture is starting to shift. Here's what's happened. 20 years ago, the cool girl was the rom-com heroine. You know, she was a little risky and flighty. But in the end, she ended up seeking stability, romance, and some sort of happily ever after. Now, there are barely any rom-coms left. The shows we get are cynical, detached, even kind of dark. I'm thinking like White Lotus. They don't even pretend that lifestyle leads to joy anymore. It's just loneliness with a glossy, sometimes luxury Instagram filter. But we're starting to see cracks in the cool girl myth. Sexual liberation sounded empowering, but women have started to figure out that it left them jaded, disconnected, and frankly, often just used. Hyper-independence sounds strong, but honestly, it leaves you lonely. And pretending you don't care, well, it can mean that you miss out on the pain, but it also means you miss out on the joy that comes from actually caring about things and people. And maybe this is the deepest crack in the cool girl myth. At the end of the day, it's just nihilistic. It tells you that nothing really matters, not love, not connection, not even happiness. And here's the catch. If nothing matters, then you don't matter either. That's why so many women who tried to wear the cool girl mask ended up feeling empty, depressed, anxious. It's everywhere these days. But meaning cannot come from detachment. It has to come from believing that there are things worth fighting for, things worth sacrificing for. So, be honest. Have you ever felt, like me sometimes, pressure to play the cool girl? If you're new here, hit like and subscribe, because every week we're pulling apart the tired scripts that culture's been handing women for decades. Here's the counter-narrative. It's good to care. It's good to be feminine. It's even good to admit that you do depend on people. Speak with grace. You can even take pride in your appearance without apologizing for it. You can value deep connections over casual encounters, because ultimately being happy is a lot better than being cool. Look, it's your life we're talking about here. It's okay to care. It reminds me of that quote from Mary Oliver where she says, "Tell me, what are you going to do with your one wild and precious life? Build something. Your life matters." Here's the good news. We're starting to see cracks in the cool girl cult. And honestly, they're showing up in surprising places. There's Demi Lovato. Just a few years ago, she was non-binary and had this affectation that she was supremely indifferent. Today, she's unapologetic unapologetically feminine and married to a man. And then there's singer Dua Lipa. Instead of doubling down on shock value, she actually started a book club podcast. And instead of being sarcastic and rolling her eyes, she actually intelligently talks about literature and poetry. Go figure. And then there's Florence Pugh, one of Gen Z's brightest acting stars. And she's not just known for that, though. She's got this great Instagram account where she showcases enjoying life at home and cooking with her friends. And how about Sophia Richie Grange, who made headlines with the wedding of the year, they called it. Why? Because she modeled elegance and family and gratitude, a far cry from the sarcasm and detachment that the cool girl was supposed to represent. They called it her quiet luxury moment, but I don't think it was about rebellion, unless she was rebelling against the cool girl image that said she wasn't supposed to care about beauty and family. And closer to home, one of my younger friends' Instagram accounts used to be full of cocktails and club scenes, and now I've noticed she's posting pictures of the sourdough she's baking and flowers she's arranging. She's still her spicy, fun self, but I think she's figured out that the cool girl scene isn't all it was cracked up to be. And I think it's part of why magazines like Evie Magazine and Darling Magazine are really taking off. They're not trying to be ironic. They're leaning directly into femininity. And they've got this message that beauty, family, marriage, motherhood, and yes, ambition, they can all belong together. And then you've got Ballerina Farm. If you've seen her feed, you know what I mean. She's running a farm, raising 7 kids, baking bread, and somehow still managing to look radiant the whole time. But look, I'm not talking specifically about Sophia Grange or Ballerina Farm Lady. I'm talking about these images that are starting to change in our culture. We used to just get the ditzy rom-com heroine or the slightly angry-looking cover of Vogue or the hypersexualized Playboy spread. Now we're starting to get these other images, and I think they're speaking to something that we've actually longed for all along. These women are showing us that the next wave isn't about being detached, ironic, or unbothered. It's actually about being connected, real, and finding joy. The cool girl persona was easy to sell. Men loved it because it gave them everything they wanted with absolutely no cost. And women bought into it too because the culture made it look effortless and carefree. But here's the catch. It doesn't hold up in real life. The women who are truly fulfilled are not the ones who are too cool to care. They're the ones who actually dare to care. Those women are investing in love, in faith, in wisdom, and in connection, things that just don't go out of style. So if the cool girl cult promised you freedom but delivered emptiness, maybe it's time to forge your own path. You don't have to join the cult. You can create your own path, one that's warmer, more connected, more fulfilling, and ultimately brings you joy and happiness. And if you liked this conversation, check out my episode on why taking up space isn't always empowerment. Because sometimes the best moves aren't always in the culture's script.